Catch my crown. Welcome to the Crown Catch podcast. We're your hosts, Aneesa and Robbie, and we're so glad to have you back for episode 8 of Queendom season 2. We will be reviewing the first half of these stages, and the next half is next episode, and it just never ends of round 3. My goodness. I'm not even going to say 3 words. Aneesa, just what are your thoughts?
My
your
thoughts?
General thoughts.
I like this category of performances. I liked it, Queendom season 2 too, so I'm enjoying it. What about you?
I'm a little burnt out.
No.
I'm just like, I feel like, the third round is going on forever. And I'm just like...
No, this round is actually normal speed. It's the other the one before this that dragged on for 3 episodes.
Maybe it just feels the pacing is off. I'm just like...
Yeah.
Not as excited in a sense, but...
Yeah.
It's coming to an end soon, so... Yeah. But nevertheless... we'll go in no particular order.
Why? Because you want to go straight to pantomime?
No, because I want them to be last.
Oh, okay. Well, we should just go in order then and let do Kep1er first.
Okay, Kep1er, the boys.
Yeah. That was an experience.
I saw some of your tweets.
Yeah. That I don't even know where to start with that performance. First of all, I know that a lot of people didn't like their concept that they went with, but I think that for Kep1er, they gave us the best concept that they could give within their range. Yeah. And I know a lot of people wanted them to stick with the goddess concept that the boys has, but honestly,
that's not
in
them.
My opinion, the goddess concept, first of all, wouldn't fit Kep1er, and second of all, it doesn't fit rookies, and third of all, it doesn't fit younger women. You know what I mean? Just those 3 things combined. I think if Kep1er went with the goddess concept, I don't think they could pull it off. I think that they went with what fits them the best. Yeah, even if it wasn't the best thing that you could have done with the boys, I feel like that's the best that Kep1er could have done.
To do with the boys, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting how like Xiaoting and Mashiro and Bahie had little to no lines.
Yeah.
Even Hikaru had a little like she was dancing, so she got a little spotlight. But I swear, every time you saw Mashiro, get up. Just get up the Tiffany little ad libs.
Yep.
And then Bahie had one little line, like half a even a line. I don't know.
The thing about Bahie's other line too is that like usually when they have their line moments, they're like in the center and that's clearly their lines.
She's like on the side.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why do you guys keep doing that to her? Goodness. But shout out to Bahie though. She had a moment and it kind of reminded me of have you ever seen when Girls' Generation performed The Boys Live? And I think Sohyun, like her weave fell out, so she kicked it off stage.
I don't remember. Was that in America? Was that on
something like that happened? It wasn't someone's weave, but it was one of their capes. I think Bahie was dancing on it. She started tripping a little bit. So at one point she like took it off stage, but it kind of blended with the choreography. It was real nice. I was like, oh, look at you. You're a professional. They should give you more lines and screen time.
Yeah. And Xiaoting had no lines, but I think she wanted it just like that.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like this is the thing that I like about Hyolyn and Brave Girls. They will always give both vocal and dance. I feel like Kep1er kind of missed the mark on this one. I mean, I know they like hit the key high notes in the boys, but I feel like the boys, the point is like all the high notes. Like the boys is really showing off Girls' Generation as complete, like the complete package, you know? Kep1er didn't give that.
It's nice that Chaehyung was actually doing something. She sang.
True.
She could have said, "Hey, young gun," you know. But I mean, it's kind of a follow-up. This feels like it's somewhat like a bridged sequel to our Girls Planet review, where it's like we come to the conclusion that group is not a vocal group, and it's
I mean, they could be. They just don't want.
What do you mean they could be? They don't have the right members. You know,
it's not about having the right members. I know that you don't like the girls who got in, but they have at least 4 or 5 girls who can reach a certain vocal limit
They don't,
but they
showcase
just won't
them.
be pushed to do that. That's the
Right.
problem. And I kind of don't blame them for that because K-pop now, it doesn't really matter.
Now, I think, I don't know what, I think this was like Legendary Song or some show like that. Now, Cherry Bullet had covered Girls' Generation as well.
The
And
recent
Bora,
performance?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
And Bora did what she needed to do. I was like, And the way how they style Bora now, I'm like, I wonder in a parallel universe, what could have been.
Extra parallel, because don't forget the interim when she
didn't make it
eight Koreans and all the Koreans except for Bora was top 9 in the interim. I think that's when the fans knew, like, okay, it's a wrap. We might as well vote for someone else.
No, I still voted, but anyway, Bora's extra talented. I don't have much else to say about that. I mean, they did The Boys. It wasn't. I mean, it was what it was. It wasn't anything.
It was okay. I'll end on a high note. It was one of their best performances of this show so far. In my opinion, I think it was one of their best.
I think they're wasting time, and the spot could have really gone to Promise 9 or Dreamcatcher.
I kind of have mixed opinions on that now.
I'm happy that they did this show because, like, it's nice for them to have that experience because IZ*ONE didn't really do any variety shows other than their own personal show. So I won't take that away from them. And like the fans can always watch and see that they got to see more of the girls. But at the other end, they could have had a whole other like mini album and working on their full album at this point. So it's I don't know, like give and take, right? Like, but they only have a short amount of time. Like, because they did this show, they will never, not that they would, but IZ*ONE will still be the most prominent survival show group.
I don't think that's, I think you're comparing two things that are unrelated.
What I mean
think
is
IZ*ONE will just.
What I mean is like they will always have more music than Kep1er. They'll always have these like special performances. It's just I wish that Kep1er was able to just be doing like their music shows and concerts and stuff. I don't know.
I think IZ*ONE's just gonna have more music just because they were always working on Korean and Japanese songs at the same time.
I wasn't even thinking about their Japanese stuff. I was just thinking about like them always getting out of.
Well, if it's just Korean, I think that Kep1er by the end of the 2 years they'll have more music because IZ*ONE took a long break, one for the scandal, and then with COVID, I think that was towards the end. Anyways, it didn't really matter.
I guess it's like a self-inflicted harm. This show, I feel.
I feel like it really depends on your perspective because think if I was a fan of Kep1er, I think that I would love them being on the show because of their short contract. This is actually like an opportunity that they might not get again. You know,
you see, and I see that perspective, and I see that perspective. I guess I'm not a fan of Kep1er. I think like I need more than Wadada.
As long as their company is like writing a bunch of songs, you know, and then they come back with. Maybe they have 2 full albums or even another album right away. Then I don't think it's a big deal.
Those girls gonna be working like field mules. I feel bad for them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they expected
that. You know, they'll work like crazy and then they'll go back to their thing and take a break, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Kep1er. Shout out to Get Up. Kep1er.
They said Girls' Generation.
They did. They like Kep1er.
I don't know what they said. They said one part of the lyric.
I heard. I listened to those back vocals.
Well, that was a front vocal.
Yeah, but listen to the very like, what'd you say? Because you're like, why do you know what this girl is saying? I don't even know what she's saying. So I heard her. You want to talk about Bop Bop, the feel good music, Bop Bop tonight. Poor Unche, that's her name. Unche. Oh no, that's the girl from the Seraphim. Unha, right?
Oh yeah.
I want her to stop singing that baby voice because she can't sustain it and it's getting on my nerves. And when she allows herself to sing in her natural range, she's actually a good vocalist. And I heard too many like. I don't know if she's saying, but it's the part of the song was like dun, 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 dun. It was all off key.
It was terrible.
I was like, terrible.
What? I get that she has that voice, but I was like, that's a little bit too like cute.
Baby.
Yeah.
But I think I get it. It works for the song, and I get it. But she's actually a good vocalist. I'm just tired of the whatever character she's creating. Like I'm
she's sticking with that character.
She really hard. Is. Yes, and I get it. But I'm like, it's okay to be a woman. In the words of Boa song, woman. I was like, oh, it's okay for her to be a woman. But I also understand, like, per the culture of like Korea and like showing your like more cutesy side, but while being a woman is like very like, oh, look at her, like, that feminine thing. But for just the purpose of making, she probably recorded a song just like that, and you can do the recording over and over again until you get it perfectly. But I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was noticed that she sounded dreadful.
Yeah, it was like terrible.
Mm-hmm. But I did like the concept. This like,
oh, the concept was great.
Yeah, I like that.
Speaking of the concept, remember how last week I was saying Umji's hair was not the move? With this concept, with this styling, I actually like it.
It looked good now.
Yeah, it actually looked good. With the other styling, I was like,
it wasn't working.
This
little ponytail moment, yeah. But she looked good. Jessica lookalike was great. She seems to be the hard carry of this group.
She really is, and it does. I don't realize how much of a carry she is until she has her center moment. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow! Every time you're center, you always eat and you never miss. Like there's nothing.
She looked like the leader of her, and then she did her thing here. And I mean, like Eunha could be like the vocal leader if she just like learn how to pull back on the baby voice and like push when she needs to. But that baby, it's like she was focusing too much on her character and not on like the quality of the song.
Yeah,
I'm glad you've heard it too, because I thought I was like, this is.
Well, did you listen to the like official recording version of the song?
I just watched the live,
okay,
the stage, a full stage,
like
without. Like I see the one on the show, and then I see the one without like the omo, and then all that, and so I was like, And I don't think they photoshopped her vocals to make her sound bad. Like I think it's just
like that.
Because if they photoshopped it to sound like that, I wonder how it sounded without it for her to get nearly on key.
Wow.
But it was a great performance. Like
it was good. I'm glad that they chose this song for the fan one.
Well, I think it's good for them to remind them that, like, yes, they're a G friend, but like this is where they are now.
Exactly.
So I thought it was good to like be like, okay, let's do Bop Bop. When they get more songs, like I'm sure their comeback is going to be great. Not top. Like, we're always just slightly off topic. One of their former members debuted a solo as well, so I'm sure they're going to be more motivated to keep like it going. You know. Yeah.
Overall, I actually really liked that stage.
I liked it too. I was noticing this backup dancer. He was giving me like, oh, where's my spot? Oh, here's my spot. Oh, here's the drum. And I was like, it's a lot going on. Like I
need to rewatch it.
I was like, yeah, he's trying his best. I don't know why I was noticing him specifically, because I was like, that'd be me too. Trying to find your spot, hit your mark, and this and that.
I wish that in the beginning, how they did the cheer stunt thing, that it wasn't dark. Or if it was going to be dark, I wish you could clearly see their silhouettes, because I feel like whatever lighting, like technical aspect,
it was a little off.
Right? Yeah, it was just a little bit off. You couldn't really like clearly show off that move. And since they only did it once, I feel like it was important to like really show that off.
Right. But I think we have to realize that like they put these stages together in such a short amount of time. Like, I think someone said they did this in 3 days or something. I don't know.
Because they're working on the other stage at the same time.
Right. So I'm just like, kudos to them, kudos to Kep1er, kudos to all the groups and soloists. Like, even though I have my perspective and stuff, I mean, they're still working really hard. So
yeah,
I don't have any altruistically negative like comments. It's just objectively, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I really like this concept that VVZ did. I really liked it. Honestly, for me, the only bad part of that performance was just Eunha's vocals. But everything else, like the story and stuff. Yeah, because you measured her for the tango one, right?
Yes.
Unnatural, right?
And then not only did she method the dance, she took on Yu Jung's ooh, oh, yeah. And I would never
She was the only one who
could try. And I was like, and then someone's like, oh no, she did it better. And I was like, it's still not good. They're like, oh, they photoshopped her to sound bad. And then we heard the unedited.
Mnet only photoshops people to sound good.
Better, right. And I was like, I heard the one that was unedited, and I was like, it's still not up to par. Like, if I know I can make spaghetti and meat sauce, and this person's specialty is like a whole 5-course meal, and they say, you go make a 5-course meal, I would feel intimidated. You know what I mean? Because I just know my specialty. It's the baby voice and in a little bit of nice little good run here or there.
Mm-hmm.
I would have not taken on, because when Yu Jung sings, she sings.
Yeah.
If it's one thing she gonna do, she gonna sing.
I think that it could have worked, like with her little added her version of it, but
I just know the original.
Sorry.
You're fine.
That reminds me of when I remember someone was saying that Mnet photoshopped Chaehyun's voice in Girls Planet when she did Black Mamba to make seem like she messed up the high note, because
they just we did it 5 times.
In the YouTube version of the video, her vocals are just fine, but in the actual broadcast, her vocals are cracked. So I had to explain to this person, like, no, her vocals actually cracked. They want her to look good on the video that people are going to go back to watch.
So that's why they smoothed it.
Exactly. That's why they cleaned it up on the YouTube version that people are going to mostly be watching, because no one really watches like the whole show. They usually just watch the performances.
Yeah, we're the only crazy ones to be like, and then in this episode, 5 minutes and 57 seconds, we haven't timestamped. But yeah, I mean, like they were definitely the second best of what they've shown us. We still haven't seen the other set. Yeah, should have showed it us straight through and less fluff and just like, here's some preparing, here's performance, here's some preparing, here's the performance.
That's fine. All we can do is just watch what we get.
I'm not mad. I'm just like saying my like suggestions that never will go anywhere.
I think in the beginning the slow pacing is fine, but I think as the show goes further on, like it's time to wrap it up. And that's kind of how dramas, well, I don't know how Korean dramas are, but Japanese dramas are kind of like that. In the beginning, it's like really slow to build the story, but then towards the end, it's like rapid fire, just things are just happening, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think that shows like this could benefit from that a lot. Right. Yeah. Right. That's similar. But anyways, Cosmic Girls.
I'm so glad they did this song, because it's a B track that I thought they would never acknowledge only once.
Wow. I wonder if all the other fans feel that same way. Like, can you do this B track? Because apparently it was a common request. Everyone wants them to do this B track.
It's just that good. I've listened to the song for maybe 2-ish years. It always comes on when I'm in the gym. It's so campy. I like that they took it to like a Broadway type of like Chicago type style, but I also wish it kept it techno. Like, I wish it kept it as complex as it did, but I understand why, per the show, to make it more palatable. But I like the complex version. I love what they did with it. In my head, because I listened to the song so much, I thought that they would just be doing some type of Eyes One and the Flowers type thing with this. Like, I pictured when the song starts, like the flower blooms and then they all come out. I had a whole imagination about this, but seeing it all kind of like, you know, ha-cha-cha, I like that. And I love the magic, the kind of like, what I call it, Wizard of Waverly Place, but the kind of like, we're going to go with that. This kind of like, you know, Alakazam, and they're teleporting and you know, shifting through the glass. It was kind of like a wizard, like carnival, like magic show, not wizard, like a magician mixed with like a fun house, like a carnival. Like it was, I feel like they brought those two ideas together really well.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole thing was like Showtime, right? I thought that was really well done. Like, I feel like this is where Cosmic Girls shine the most.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel though.
Oh, I love the performance. I loved it from beginning to end. It was interesting. And
yeah,
I liked how there was like, I don't know, they just did so much in the performance, but it was just all entertaining. All
right,
of it.
right.
One thing that I will say, like, just to compare it to Kep1er's stage.
Sure.
I noticed that in Kep1er's stage, I felt like the energy was the same from beginning to end. And because of that, like when the dance break happened, it didn't feel like a dance break. It just kind of felt like it was just another part
we're
of the
in this
song.
part, now we're in this part.
Yeah, exactly. So for Cosmic Girls, I feel like, I mean, they didn't have like a dance break section, but they clearly had sections, but they still like flowed together. But there was still clearly like, oh, when this part was memorable. Like for me, when I think about the stage, obviously besides the ending, I think of like when they were acting like dolls, and I was like, they pulled that off like so well, and it still matched the theme. You know what I mean?
I really like the Funhouse mirror part. I said that before, but when like they showed one girl, then it like disappears, and another girl, and then like it's done, and then they're like, we're in this pose. I was like, that's really cool too. And like, I don't know, I think they really did. Like, I think this showed like the spirit of Cosmic Girls to me. Like their version of the G-Friend song, I don't think that was a good reflection. And I know they said like, oh, it's a gamble going dark, and like I respect their like creative choices, but I think that this was like pure Cosmic Girl. Like they put on a show.
Yeah,
it was a good performance. And when we're on the couch and when that song hit, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing pantomime. And you're like, what's this? Like that is what I want, like in a concert type thing. Like if I heard that in a concert, I would go ballistic.
Wow.
Oh, I love that song.
Wow. That performance definitely made me like the song. I think you recommended it to me. But when I first got into Cosmic Girls, remember I asked you for song recommendations besides Unnatural? I remember that song was on the list, so I only remembered the name, but I didn't like it when I first listened to it. But I think now
it's a complex song. Like,
yeah,
it's definitely not for everyone because it's more experimental. But they made for this version, they made it more palatable for like, because I mean I liked it. I was like, ooh, this is complex. But then for the stage, like they simplified it for like, not saying you are one, but like if it was in a grocery store and it played, like the auntie is in like, what is this? Like I hear Eyes One all the time in the H marks here. Like, and if the B tracks, I'm like, oh, I look for them to get a little residual check. But like if Panama came on, that might be a little bit too intimidating. But like that version could be played like, because I think, and I always thought that's like, where is this song gonna be listened to? Like, you know, like where is this song do? And like a lot of those beat tracks that those groups do, like ends up in like, you know, coffee shops or a little this or that. So like in terms of usability, like I get it, you know. I hope I'm not rambling.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I'm the same way. I always think like, what situation could I like this song in? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I had a moment like that with Classy. Sorry, I'm getting off topic.
No, but you know what's funny? Why is it like, oh, I like it, then you're like, and then like give yourself like 3 weeks, oh, that song's great, and I'm like, I done told you.
No, that song, I liked it on the first listen. It's just because everyone was comparing it to Luna, and I was like, okay, let me separate it from that Luna song. And once I finally heard it on its own, I was like, oh, I like this song.
It's kind of hard to not compare, considering that the Ryan producer guy, he's like, you want a new song? It's gonna be Bollywood. Oh, all right. And like every song he makes is like, he did it to Ive, and then Luna first, then Ive, then Classy. Like, I think it's time to hang up the like tribal Bollywood-esque like sound, but we're getting on topic. But Classy did their thing. I wish them well. They're under MBK, so it won't work. But you know, they'll be replacing Daya, our plagiarism queens, our Tinashe queens, queen of the summer. Anyway, that was a quick one. Who are you looking forward to for next week, or I guess this week?
Oh, I think I guess Brave Girls, because
That stage looks so interesting.
yeah, the stage just looked really pretty. And I
Mhm.
always felt like Brave Girls just had, I mean, like some older women, they give off like a goddess vibe, and some of them are like sexy. But Brave Girls, I felt like they could always fit like a cute
They're fun.
concept. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
cute and fun. So I don't know what they're doing on stage, but it looks like it's
There's
going to be
palm
good.
trees
Yeah.
and colors. It looks like a alternate version, not compare. Well, I'm comparing like a different version of Hyolin's "Welcome to Paradise." Like
Mm-hmm.
it's giving me Brave Girls is paradise.
Yep. Who else is next week? Hyolyn, Brave Girls,
Hyolyn,
and
Brave Girls, and Luna.
oh, and Luna. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to all of their stages, but just mostly Brave Girls. I feel like for me, so far, I've enjoyed Brave Girls stages. And I know I said that before, but I don't really realize which stage I enjoy until I like listen to the songs. And I don't skip Brave Girls their first stage, Chimat Bottom and Roland. I like that stage, and then I like Mask, and I'm just like, wait, I keep listening to only Brave Girl stages. I don't listen to anyone. Sometimes I listen to Hyolyn when she,
You know which stage you be listening to.
yeah.
Put the Roland right now.
No, I don't listen to that at all. The only stages I listen to are just Brave Girl stages. I'm like, huh, they might actually be the winners for. I like Cosmic Girls stages, but when it comes to like the music, I
So
like
for your
how Brave
personal
Girls has
winner,
done their music so far.
you know what I will say, and I'll always say this: Brave Girls deserved at least third for Mass. They did not deserve last. I think that was a lot of like phony baloney. It wasn't deserved. And I think let me do Roland right now. I think Kep1er deserved last, just for Bahier standing on that stage for good 9 to 10 seconds, not adding anything.
They were thinking about the cameras. They now I think everyone got a good grasp. Like, oh, we have to work with camera and audience. But what that was like just the second stage.
They came from a TV show. They should know every second, every angle, every moment counts.
That's true. I don't. Well, no, the TV show that they came from was it was only camera. They never performed in front of an audience. So that's why I feel like their first stage, they didn't go big enough because they only had to focus on cameras. And then their second stage, they were overly focused on cameras. And then now this one, I feel like they were more aware of having a big stage and also like a audience presence, not just the camera.
Now hearing that added like perspective, I can see what you're talking about, but still.
We're not going to be able to not roast Kep1er. I mean, I wanted to like one of their stages, and I do like one. I like their opening stage.
See the light.
Yes, I thought
really
liked that stage.
I was like, oh, they're gonna win. Like, yeah, I was like, they're gonna win. Like, I just thought, like, wow, they really brought it here. Like, I was like, I'm not a fan, but dang, they kind of brought it.
Yeah, I think when it comes to camera angles and things like that, they can work with it well.
I think, yeah, again, because that was like a controlled environment.
Exactly, very controlled, no audience.
Like they they're like, oh, this is our jam. This is Girls Planet. This is my planet. Come on, C group and J group and K group. And let's go kill this, you know.
You mean C girl?
C girl. Planet top 9.
Well, yeah.
And then Shy Ben comes out.
I think we said everything that we had to say then.
Yeah. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Let us know what you have to say. Like, let us know your thoughts in the comments. We really appreciate that. We'll be back to our normal schedule now that, you know, things have settled down. But yeah, let us know. We love to hear what you guys have to say. And we'll talk to you guys, I guess, this Monday, next Monday. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your week. And until then, take care. Bye.